Hi, I'm LORQ, and I'm at Unit 48 in the Vulcan. I've lived at the Vulcan for about 7 months and been club spinning for about 2 years, a little bit more. This is a beginning to intermediate tutorial designed to bring people from beginning club spinning to intermediate club spinning. First is grips. This is called a ring grip. The club is between my thumb and the index finger, kind of in the webbing. It's good for circles down and in front, up and in back, to the side, in the front and the back, on both sides. This is claw grip. I can swing the club in a circle, holding the club like a claw. It's really good for up and in front, down and in back, to the side and in front, and this side and in back. With those two grips, you can do a lot of poi motions. One of the first things you'll want to learn is 2 beats. I'm doing a circle and ring grip, and a circle and claw grip. The club is doing 1 circle on each side of the body, 1 beat, 2 beat. Combining these 2 grips, I can move through poi motions around my body. I can move under my arm, over my arm, behind my back, to the other side of my back, behind my head, around my head, and between my legs. There's also poi grip, which you can use for poi moves, but I recommend just learning to manipulate the club with your hands. I use a laser pointer grip to teach anti-spins and hybrids in general. It seems to be the most useful grip I found for these motions. It's like if the club had a laser and it were shooting on the wall. I'm going to write my name. And what this does is it gives a lot of leverage. You find leverage between the index finger and the thumb. I can do that little rubber bandy trick from high school, grade school. That teaches me leverage. In club spinning, we often use the reference points of down, left and right, and up. Right, up, left, down. You can do 2 beats to the different reference points of your body. You can do spin flowers, switching grips in between, or anti-spin flowers. And what you'll want to know is that the grip is dynamic. It's changing all the time. So as you learn to manipulate the clubs more fluidly, the whole appearance becomes more smooth. You can watch double staff videos or poi videos and get a lot of ideas. Let's talk about timing and direction. There are 2 timings and 2 directions for 2 points rotating around a circle. Let's just do this with our arms first. We're going to move in split same, which means that the hands are split. They hit the bottom and the top on split beats, and they're moving in the same direction. Together same, where the hands are moving together around the circle, it means they hit the top and the bottom at the same time, and they're moving in the same direction. It's together opposite, where the hands are hitting the bottom and top of the circle together, but they're moving in opposite directions. There's also split opposite, where the hands are split at the top and bottom, but moving in an opposite direction. You can do all those timing and directions with the clubs as well. Here's what it looks like. Split same, together same, together opposite, and split opposite. A minimal beat pattern is a 1-to-1 ratio. That means that for every circle of the arms, there's another circle of the clubs. For every circle of my arm, there's a circle of the club. Similarly, in isolation, for every circle of my arm, there's 1 circle of the club. Even in anti-spin, the club does 1 full circle for every rotation of my arm. The grid we use for minimal beat club patterns is like a circle with a plus sign inside. The plus sign is a vertical axis, up and down, and a horizontal axis, left and right. We've got the reference points of left and right, up and down, and we can move through those reference points in all sorts of ways. The prop can either be facing away from your body or toward your body on the horizontal axis or the vertical axis. When you have 2 clubs, you can be pointing both toward your body, both away from your body, or 1 toward your body and 1 away from your body at each of these reference points. Also, your hands can be split, pointing both toward, both away, or 1 toward and 1 away. That's called prop facing. Let's learn the 4 basic shapes in minimal beat extension, vertical anti-spin, and horizontal anti-spin. These can be done in all four timings and directions. Extension is when the club is pointing away from your body and your arm is moving in a circle in the same direction as the club. Isolation is when your club is pointing toward your body and your hand is moving in a circle in the same direction as your club. Anti-spin changes from going away from your body to toward your body, away from your body, and then toward your body again as the club moves in the opposite direction around a circle as the arm. This is a vertical anti-spin, and this is a horizontal anti-spin. Vertical anti-spin will point away at the bottom and the top, and it'll point in at the side and the other side. Horizontal anti-spin will point away at the side and the other side, but point in at the bottom and the top. Laser pointer. What I do is I hold the leverage of the club between my thumb and my middle and index fingers, also sort of near the webbing of my hand. It's very easy to switch from ring grip into this laser pointer grip, which helps with anti-spin, isolation, and extension. You can switch very easily between a laser pointer grip and an extension by cocking the club back on your arm. You can anti-spin the club up, drop into that leverage, and anti-spin the club down. This position over here with the laser pointer is really nice. This club is resting on my arm, and at any point from these four, I can shoot out into an anti-spin. While your arm is here, it's very easy to go into isolation. Your arm is supporting the club. I grab the leverage to move the club. You can see these four fundamental shapes in all four timings and directions in my video 16 club patterns. If you combine these shapes together, you get what's called a hybrid. The two clubs are doing two different types of motion at the same time. Alternately, it can mean that the clubs and the hands are in different timings and directions. For an example of an extension vertical anti-spin, I'll begin with both clubs pointing out at the bottom. I focus a little bit more on my anti-spin because it's more difficult than the extension. The hands, if you notice, are in together same. The clubs are moving like a butterfly through together opposite. You'll notice they point to each side at the sides, both down at the bottom, each side at the sides, and both up at the top, which is the exact same reference points we use for together opposite. Let's do it again. Hands are moving around the circle together and together same, while the clubs are moving in together opposite. I'm using vertical anti-spin with my right hand and extension with my left hand. So this one's going to do an isolation, while this one does a vertical anti-spin. It looks something like this. I could also choose to anti-spin the other way, or to complete that pattern. You can watch my video 24 club hybrids for more ideas for hybrids. One thing to remember is that there is no strict way to do club spinning. It's a static prop, which means you can move it however you want. For a while, it may seem like unchurned butter, but if you keep churning the butter, I promise it'll get smooth.